Power valves provide the added fuel required for acceleration and full throttle operation beyond what the accelerator pump and the main metering system produce. All of QuickFuel's carburetors, those with separate main bodies, metering blocks, fuel bowls, and base plates, from the giant QFXs to the tiny 450 CFM HR series, use the same exact screw-in power valves. Many Holley and Demon carburetors use nearly identical power valves. The most important factor when selecting power valves is at what manifold vacuum they open up, providing fuel enrichment. QFT's patented 4-door power valves are available in 1/2 psi increments from 2.5 inches of manifold vacuum to 7.5 inches of manifold vacuum, to where they increase in increments of 1 psi up to 10.5 psi. They are 100% calibrated at QFT for accuracy. The way to determine which power valve or valves your engine requires is to first do a vacuum test in this manner. Attach a vacuum gauge to the manifold vacuum port on the carburetor, place foot on brake, engage in gear, and record the reading. The rule of thumb is that the power valve rating, or the opening point, should be 1/2 the manifold vacuum at idle, tested in the manner described above. So if you get a 12 inches of vacuum reading, you need a 6 psi power valve. If your vehicle makes 6 inches of manifold vacuum at idle, then you need a 3 psi power valve. Here, you can see the difference between a power valve plug, often used to eliminate power valves in all-out race cars, that offers no fuel flow, a traditional 4-hole power valve, and QFT's patented 4-door power valves with large windows for unrestricted fuel flow. Regardless of the size of the windows in the power valve, fuel is metered by the removable screw-in power valve restrictions. They are typically 42 thousandths to 48 thousandths of an inch in diameter. They can be changed richer or leaner in 5 thousandths inch increments. One of QFT's latest innovations is to replace the flat power valve gasket with a reusable O-ring. It seals better and is easier to install. Make sure you use a gasket if you have the older style metering blocks and power valves. Swapping power valves is pretty easy. Simply remove the 4 fuel bowl screws and carefully separate the fuel bowl from the metering block. QFT's new non-stick bowl gaskets make this pretty easy, and they can even be reused. Earlier type gaskets usually tear and must be replaced. Next, remove the metering block from the main body. It may take a little prying with a small screwdriver, but it should come off fairly easy with the new style gaskets. A 1-inch box wrench is used to loosen the power valve, then spun out with your fingers. The opening rate is stamped on the hex of the power valve. It may be difficult to read, and you may need a magnifying glass. To install a new power valve, just reverse the disassembly steps. When checking your engine's vacuum at idle, or in gear against the brake, be sure to use a quality vacuum gauge that will give you a precise reading like this gauge from Snap-on. Having the correct power valve for your engine combination will do wonders for its performance and response. For more information, please go to quickfueltechnology.com.